Well, every one of those questions that everyone's been asking, I do have the two gentlemen who have all the answers to that. Mr. Sushil Chandra, who's the chairman of CBDT, which is, of course, the Board of Direct Taxes, and Mr. Pranab Das, who's the chairman of CBIC, which is the Indirect Taxes and Customs now. So it's a new name out there. So can I first start off by asking you the leading question that worries me every year in the budget is what's hidden in the fine print. And the reason I ask that is retrospective taxations was hidden in the fine print. And it was around about this time on budget day that somebody read it and said, oh my God, what is there in this? Is there anything hidden in the fine print that we should know about or worry about?
There's nothing which is hidden in the fine print. It is absolutely very clear, explicit, and absolutely very well known to everyone. There is nothing which is hidden in the fine print.
Okay.
And because it's the interim budget, so we have given certain certainty to some taxpayers, especially the middle class and all, so that they should know their tax liability for the next year.
So it's more to give them the direction. I'll come back to that in detail, but even when it comes to indirect taxes, normally the budget is a time when everyone says this slab moving down, stop. But being an interim budget, you've done none of that. So it's parked till July.
Oh. Yeah, I know. But you see, ever since the GST came almost 1.5 years back, we have already rolled out the entire scheme in such a manner that we have kept it very low, even lower than whatever was average rate of 31%. And that within 4 months, we reduced 177 items. And over the periods, we have reduced almost 398 items. So the common items, which are used by the common man, it is 0 to 5%. Even the highest range of 28%. Earlier it was 229 items, it has been reduced to only 32 items. Only sin goods and very high valued goods are now taxed at a higher rate. So with that we have entailed some sort of revenue loss of 80,000 crore. So basically keeping in mind the consumers and basically keeping in mind the interest of the common man.
Right. Let me come back to GST in more detail, so I do have some questions to ask you on that also, including the mop-up, which is now up to 100,000 crores. But if I can just come to taxes. So everyone who saw the budget certainly got very excited about the changes that have come in taxation, especially the raising of the exemption limit. Now, there's been some questions after that as to when exactly it kicks in and what the specific meaning of this is. So this is not kicking in right now. It will only come after the budget in July?
No. This is the budget proposal which will be passed in this parliament itself. So this will kick from the 1st of April 2019 only. Because this is the rates which we are giving for the next financial years. So that should be made very, very clear that from 1st of April 2019, these rates will come into the picture. These concessions which we have given will come into the picture.
Okay, let me just try and get a further understanding of that, because there's obviously a lot of confusion around this. I'm seeing any number of reports which are saying that for this increasing, like the fact that nobody will have to pay income tax.
Up to 5 lakh.
Up to 5 lakh rupees.
Yes.
That is, you're saying, is going to kick in from the 1st of April.
Yeah, definitely.
It's part of this budget.
This budget, yes. That's why I'm telling you. This is the part of this budget that up to the returned income or the taxable income up to 5 lakh rupees, no tax liability will arise on the persons. We will give the rebate of the amount of the tax which is up to the 5 lakh rupees of a returned income or the taxable income. So even if a person who is investing more than something around 1.5 lakh rupees in the specified savings, then up to 6.5 lakh rupees he will have not to pay any tax. If he pays something more than 50,000 rupees in NPS, up to 7 lakh rupees also, because the net return income will be 5 lakhs, so no tax will be payable. If he gets a standard deduction also, being a salaried employee, he will get a standard deduction of 50,000 also. So up to 7 lakh, 7.5 lakh, depending upon the investment which he makes, and the return income comes to 5 lakh rupees, so no tax liability onto that particular person, because that will give benefit to 3 crore of persons at all, and 18,050 or 500 crore is the money which will be available in their hands because of the tax savings.
But again, just to be crystal clear on this, you are saying that when this present budget is passed, when this finance bill is passed, this is what will become law. This is not something that has to wait for the main budget in July. So in the interim budget, once that's passed, this proposal kicks in.
Yes.
So income taxpayers can say this is now a done deal.
Yes.
So what is their
Definitely.
This is a done deal.
Definitely.
Now, within that, there's some other confusion that some people are having, that there seems to be some provision somewhere in the drafting. When you see the fine print, when I hate to use the word fine print, when you see the way this is actually drafted in the finance bill, it seems to indicate that this is if your income is more than 5 lakh rupees, then maybe you'll go all the way back to 2.5 lakhs and do it. And
definitely.
So
definitely.
just explain that.
Suppose
that's
if your income
confusing.
is 10 lakh rupees. Let us come to that level. If your income is 10 lakh rupees, and you have taken, specified deposits and all, and your income 1.5 lakh has also gone. So your taxable return income comes to 8 lakh rupees. Then the whole slab and tax liability will remain with the same situation, which was earlier, like 2.5 lakh to 5 lakh, 5%. From 5 lakh to 8 lakh or 10 lakh is the 20%. So that will remain as it is. Because this is interim budget, so we have targeted that middle class, lower middle class, elite class persons who will not try to wait till that particular time because their liability is very less. And if deduction takes place in the month of April, May, June, July, so they will have to file the return to get the refunds. So we have been very, cautious about it. Therefore, we have said that it is the targeted group. Like salaried employees, we have increased the standard deduction from 40,000 to 50,000 rupees. So that will start from 1st of April. In the very first salary which you will get for April, the deduction will be taken as 50,000 rupees. And the tax
so if somebody has got a higher income, it's not that the space between 2.5 lakh rupees and 5 lakh rupees, they will have to pay tax on that.
Yeah.
It's not that the limit has now gone up to 5 lakhs for everybody.
I think that's very
it's only for people within that particular who are getting less than 5 lakh rupees. They're the only people who benefit from this.
Yes, the person who are filing return up to 5 lakh rupees will get this benefit. If a higher income is there, you will not get this benefit.
You won't get the benefit up to this particular amount. Right. So that's hopefully bringing some clarity.
I think very clarity. It's very clear.
Yeah, that's
so
what I'm asking you repeatedly to make sure everyone understands this.
Nothing in the hidden print or anything else. It's very clear.
Okay, so that part is clear. Now, if you can also just elaborate the standard deduction and the house part of it, just to make sure that everyone gets clarity straight from the horse's mouth, as it were, as to what the position
As you know, the last year we have started the standard deduction. Last year, state gave standard deduction to 40,000 rupees to all salaried class employees. They have represented last year also that it should be more. So this year we have increased from 40,000 to 50,000 rupees. So all salary earners across the board, whether he is earning salary of 1 crore or whether he is earning salary of 5 lakh rupees, he will get this benefit of 50,000 as a standard deduction.
And that is applicable for everyone, no matter how much they are earning.
For everyone. So roughly 3 crore salaried earner will get benefit of this, and we will be dole out the tax revenues of something around 4,700 crores. Okay. So that is benefit to each and every salary earner.
The benefit that you are applying in capital gains taxation, that second residential property, you do get the capital gains benefit from. But there again, there is a caveat that it is only if your capital gains is less than 2 crores. Or is it up to 2 crores you'll get the benefit and not after that?
Yeah, up to 2 crores. That is the
point. Up to 2 crore rupees you get the benefit.
Because definitely, because if you are investing in 2 houses, because earlier it was only up to 1 houses. So we said that if a person required 2 houses, one for himself, one for children, by selling 1 house, so up to 2 houses, if your capital gain is 2 crore, mind it is the capital gain, it is not the whole realization of the sale proceeds. Suppose you have got a sale proceeds of 5 crore and having a capital gain of 2 crore only, so up to 2 crore of capital gain will be exempt.
Okay. So if your capital gains is 2 crores, 20 lakhs, then 20 lakhs you'll still pay capital gains on, but up to 2 crores is exempt.
Yes, definitely.
Is that a correct understanding? So just to recap this, just to make sure that anybody listening to this, trying to figure out what this is, I think I'm just going to recap it all. It does kick into effect immediately. You do not have to wait for the budget in July to get the benefits of whatever changes are there in income tax. That's point number 1. Point number 2, that gap between 2.5 and 5 only is applicable if you're actually getting income in that. If you're a richer person getting a higher income, you will pay tax on that gap between 2.5 and 5. And number 3, capital gains, you just explained it. Is that all roughly correct? A fair summing up?
We have given some more concessions also. Like SOP. Till now, only if you have got a 1 house as a self-occupied property, that was exempt from the notional rent.
Okay.
Now we have given you that if you have got 2 houses also, so even 2 houses are exempt from the notional rent at all.
Okay. All right. So lots of changes in indirect tax. As I was saying, not much happening in the indirect tax and customs front, at least in this budget. In any case, a lot of that is now in GST. But seeing as we do have you with us, just wanted to understand how satisfied are you with GST collections? I think the target was but the run rate was supposed to be more than 1 lakh crore a month anyway. You hit that now, I think, 2 or 3 times in the last 1 year. Are you satisfied with buoyancy?
Yeah, see, when we started with a good process, having both, the supplies which have been made. It has to be properly accounted for from both buyer and seller, or the supplier from both ends. But down the line, we found that people are not ready. The system was not ready. So therefore, we have to reduce. Therefore, we have to wait for all these changes. So when it started, it was almost 89,000 crore on an average. Now we hit this year 97,000 crore on an average, and this month we have got 1,02,000 crore. So this, perhaps with the rationalization of rates, with increase in base, we are going to increase the amount in time to come.
So that's an indication that though you have moderated tax rates, there is still buoyancy in collection.
Correct.
So to that extent, lakh curve, whatever it is.
Absolutely correct.
And are you satisfied with the pace of collection and adoption now? All the teething problems out of the system?
Yeah, teething problem is almost settled, and we are all the entire tax rationalization has brought in a lot of cheers, and we have found a lot of people who are already in the lower threshold. They want to be part of the entire supply chain because they want to take benefit of the entire process of GST. And similarly, in so far as the customs BCD is concerned, we have been reducing the rates so far as the manufacturer is concerned for their raw material, for the components, to ensure that Make in India takes place and give a level playing field. So to that extent, though the rates have come down, the buoyancy I am noticing, and therefore I am confident in time to come will definitely rise to whatever level has been interested on us.
All right, sir. Well, one last question to both of you. You know, one of the stated philosophies which I think the finance minister tried to say is make it simpler, make it easier, make sure there's no harassment and no tax terrorism. Yes. Is that a message that you're being able to filter all the way down into the system? Because every chairman of CBDT and CBIC, I'm sure, faces that as a problem. Your intention is clear, but it's not always easy to get everyone to fall in line.
But we are doing that. And how we are doing that? It is with the technology. I am accepting 99.54% returns as it is on the faith. They are not being scrutinized at all. They are being given refunds, if at all there. Only 0.46% returns have been taken for scrutiny, as against 6.85 crore returns which we have received last year. Only something around 3 lakh, which is constituted 0.46%, have been taken for scrutiny. And simply we are passing on the refunds. Like this year, I have given 2.55 crore refunds to the person, to 2.55 crore, amounting to 1,40,000 crore. And that 2.55 crore is about 50% higher than last year. So need not to come at all to the income tax office. We are putting your money in your bank account. We are not calling you to the income tax office. One page simple return up to the income of 50 lakh rupees, that too online filing. Okay. So I think these technological advancement, communication through the technology, communication through the emails, I think there's no question of tax terrorism anymore onto this front. And we are continuously working on to that. We have sanctioned, very recently the cabinet has approved a plan through which we will be giving in 2 years the refund even one day. In 1 day, we will process your return in 1 day. And we are moving towards the absolutely faceless assessments. During this year also, 2 lakh assessments have been done faceless. So that is the way we are moving ahead. And that will, once the interaction is reduced, and it is only through the technology, that there's no question of tax terrorism for that.
All right. Well,
so far as the customs and CBIC is concerned, we have always been on the first track movement. We have always been on the digitized mode, and self-assessment, advanced filing, and use of technology has always been our main forte. And with the introduction of GST, again on digitized mode, we are using technology, we are using artificial intelligence, and we are seeing.
And you're hopefully continuing to try and simplify the matter,
yes,
so everyone
and we
can figure it out. Because it was complicated.
Both faceless, documentless. Now we are becoming more or less remote assessment, which we are targeting.
All right, sirs. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for that clarification, which I'm going to keep on playing so that everyone understands it and gets the fine print sorted out to some extent.
Thank you
so much for having joined us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Back to you in the studio.